everyone, this is Nikki E. Welcome to another video where today, guys, I'm bringing you the Mars in Capricorn, which is from the 24th till the 6th of March. So we're going from Aquarius season till Pisces season. Now I'll tell you a little bit about my feelings of Mars in Capricorn, because it was said that it's actually exalted, actually it does very well, because Mars is a sign that is very, very driven. Okay, it's ruled traditionally by Scorpio, but it's ruled by Aries, of course. And it's about like basically the drive of like the characteristics of a person. This is about action, reaction as well. It's about our desires, how we go about things. It's also about sex as well. On the other side, it's about anger. We can be very impulsive and in how we express ourselves. But especially the main energy of drive and ambition is heavily influenced in this. So with Mars being in the sign of Capricorn, which we are all going to experience, some of us can experience it really greatly, but some of us can experience it quite differently. It's a really good grounding energy, because Mars actually does well in like fire signs, of course, but it does well in the earth signs, especially Capricorn, because of the whole Capricorn attributes of the drive to succeed. And it is very materialistic, of course, you know, because Capricorn is about building something sustainable for the future, and also, you know, about status as well. When Mars is like in Scorpio, the intensity is extremely high. Okay, it's extremely high. It can be quite volatile. It's very passionate and it's intense. But with it being in Capricorn, it's a bit more grounded. The energy is a bit more, it can be a bit more slower. It takes its time, although the passion is still there, but the drive and energy is for like this long-term goal. And definitely with this, some of the themes I'll say with this is like about professional success. It obviously is about material as well, and also is self-discipline. It's also about control. So it's a little bit like Scorpio as well, but it's just a bit more grounding. So a lot of self-discipline, a lot of control, and you know, it's about also not licking ass, should I say. For those of you who don't know, that means like, you know, people pleasing. It's about just being like doing what higher up people say, because you know that you'll get somewhere. Okay, so it's like obedient type of thing, but it's like you don't really mind being told, like being given more responsibilities, because you know Capricorn ruled by Saturn is about responsibilities. And you know that if you work hard, if you put all your drive and energy into working hard, you're going to get gains. Okay, so it's not, with Mars being in Capricorn as well, when it comes to work, I'll talk about work. When it comes to work, it's, don't be surprised if some people stay behind in the office just that little bit longer, because they want to do things correctly. And also because we are in Mercury retrograde, there's more likely that we're going to be making a lot of mistakes. But with Mars being in Capricorn, it's going to make some of us feel that we just need to go over things just that little bit more, because we don't want to look like an idiot. We don't want to make mistakes. So there may be a lot of working late. There may be also going a lot over when it comes to like anything to do with paperwork. Taking things much more seriously as well. The drive is to make sure that we are going to be on top of things instead of rushing through things. And also, in order to be on top of things, you have to do things correctly. So there's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of drive with that. And also, that's where the passion is as well. And with this, as Capricorns always know, and you know, with this whole transit as well, it will give you a lot of, if you're seeking like a promotion, if you're seeking like, you know, just recognition in any way, this Mars in Capricorn may be able to do this, because you'll do, and especially if you're one of those people that like to, you know, just do things very quickly because you're bored, you want to move on to the next thing. You may be slowing down a lot more now, and it could be shocking people. You know, there could also be a lot of rise of power during Mars in Capricorn. People that we never expect to be having a promotion or rise in power. This could happen because they've put a lot of work in, or you know, people are, you know, even at work, guys. Some of you may not be in the office, but you know, look out, because there may be some people, even yourself, that may be putting a lot of work and a lot of action into completing it as much task as possible, you know. And you know, Capricorn's ruled by the 10th house, which is about status, which is about fame. So I feel that a lot of that action could be coming up now as well. And you know, remember this is a sign, you know. So you know, also another thing to look at during this transit, 6-week transit, is, you know, bosses coming in, and some bosses could be giving people more work. They could be more stricter as well. They could be more driven to attain more like material, you know, tangibles from employees as well. Or even you yourself could be like this too. On the flip side of this, there can be, you know, because that's like the good side, because the drive and energy is actually there. But on the flip side, there can be a tendency towards being overly ambitious in and being cold and stepping over people's toes because you want to attain, you know, fame or recognition. There can be that, you know. And also relationships could also be left to the back corner because it's all about, you know, climbing that ladder, climbing that corporate ladder. This obviously can bring some arguments as well, but because it's in Capricorn, the arguments there may be a bit of broodiness. It may like take a while for the arguments to actually come up, but when it does explode, it can sort of linger, which actually can leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And when I also say linger, is that it can go on for a long time, i.e. also as in it's not going to be let go of. There can be some harboring. So also another thing with this is that if there are some like conflicts in any way, Mars in Capricorn, it can tend to push all their energies into their work in order not to, you know, talk about uncomfortable truths. So Mars rules the sex drive. So the sex drive could actually be quite high, but it might not be very bam, bam, bam. I feel it could be more like slow burn, but it can tend to last for hours. Okay. But on the other side, if there are conflicts in a relationship and it's about, let's just talk about this, it can be like, I don't want to talk about this, I want to get on with my work, and the sex drive may dip as well. So it could go either way. If you are in a long-term relationship, this can actually bring a lot of bit more commitment. There'll be a lot of drive and energy to commit more, taking things a bit more seriously, really lots of detailed planning on the wedding, especially engagement. There could be a lot of thought in getting that engagement ring. There can also be a lot of thought in you know, making that relationship more spicy in a way, but not in a really Aries or Scorpio way. It's just a bit more like traditional spicy. Okay, so there can be a lot of that as well. But you know, there is a coldness to this as well. It can be like calculating, it could be very selfish, there could be a lot of talk, a lot of materialistic talk, which can actually drive people up the wrong way. So it depends on how you use this. especially for Capricorn. Capricorns are going to be feeling this the most, of course. There's going to be a lot of drive and energy towards, you know, your goals, your future goals, looking at yourself as well. Some Capricorns are going to be looking at their physical body. You could be taking up a new physical, you know, something physical for yourself, you know, like a, I don't know, rock climbing. This will actually help your knees because you are, you know, you're the skeletal, the joints, you're ruled by the joints. With Aquarius, this is going to be in your 12th house. So a lot of, there can be some action that's going on there. Some of you may decide to do like a traditional practice that was from history, from a very long time ago. Listen out for your dreams, because there can be some dreams that come up from the past. It could be 5 years ago, it could be 10 years ago. Something that you've actually pushed down, it could happen. But also you may be visiting hospitals and shy rooms that you were supposed to do a long time ago. For Pisces, this is your 11th house, and this is about, you know, your drive and energy is within groups and friendships. Some of you may want to align yourself with people who are older than yourself. You may want to be, you know, just be around older people, or maybe older friends as well, because we are in the retrograde season. Older friends can come back as well. You may be seeking older friends, but also this is about your goals and your dreams. Old goals, old dreams coming back. And for and also another thing for Pisces is that, you know, a lot of drive and energy is going to be there. For Aries, this is in your 10th house, so this is like the Capricorn house. There can be some drama and conflicts that come with like bosses. These bosses could be older. There could be some, you may feel there's a bit of delay, like your career's stalled in some way, but it's just about you like putting the work in. You know, some of you may actually get a promotion that should have been for you a long time ago. You can actually gain that promotion now because you're putting the work in. All what you've done, Aries, in the past is going to be coming back in terms of your career. For Taurus, the drive and energy for this is going to be in studies, higher learning. I keep talking about the past because that's what Capricorn rules. So you may be very serious into, really, like, your driving energy, be very serious into learning old historian, like, spiritual practices. This also is about the law as well. So like cases of the law could be coming up. Also, you may be driven to be around people that are from different cultures to yourself, but there may be some traditional aspects to this as well. But you know, your drive is to like really learn like a project that you've always wanted to learn a long time ago. And Gemini, this is in your 8th house. So, you know, clearing up old bills, clearing up old debts. There could be some drama that comes up within your relationship with your partner. And after this, but this could be to do with your, you know, old anxieties, old paranoias that you have within you. This is a time to really sort it out, but you may have to dig really deep within this as well. But you know, anything to do with like money, loans, debts, this is all about transformation for you, Gemini. Cancer, this is in your 7th house. So a lot of drive, a lot of energy in towards your relationships. Cancers, try not to please too much to get what you want, or some of you may be harboring old feelings as well that could cause drama in an argument. I feel a lot of you are seeking balance and peace. But in order for you to have that, anything from the past that comes out, it needs to be done now. This also involves contracts as well, Cancer. Okay, there could be old contracts that come up, something to do within the law as well. Or this is open enemy season for you. So there could be someone that's worked against you and now you found out who they are. Leo, this is in your 6th house. This is actually great for a lot of you Leos, because some of you may decide to go back to doing a certain workout regime. This could be for the long term. So it's good, it's best to see it like that, Leo. You know, anything that you've always wanted to like really transform yourself, it's going to be for the long term. There may be something that comes up within your physical body that you have to look at, something to do with the joints. So this is actually really great for you to really try and figure it out and sort it out now. And this is also great for you to, you know, really look at your routines in any way. This is actually really good for a lot of Leos, actually, to really figuring out their routines, their daily habits and routines, and what they're eating. And I feel a lot of you are going to be very serious during this time. Virgo, this is in your 5th house. So this is actually really great for Virgos to be getting really serious, a lot of drive, a lot of energy to pursue your passions that you've left behind, passions that you thought that you no longer needed. They could be coming up now. And also, you know, there might be some clashes with kids. You know, if you have children, there could be clashes that come up there, because you might be very strict. You might be really, you know, very delegating, this, do this, do this, do that. And there might not be any like love, not love, but there might not be a lot of like fun there. So for you to get fun, it might be really, you have to dig really deep. And also for you Virgos, you know, this is about fun, but you're going to have fun in a different way. So yeah, I feel you're going to have to dig really deep. But in terms of creativity, this is the great one for you. Libra, this is in your 4th house. Great time, Libra, to be doing some like research when it comes to like your family, your home. Some of you may decide that you know, where you live is just really grating you, so you might want to move somewhere else. There could be some conversations or clashes within the family that needs to be sorted out. Some of these things I feel are from the past as well. They could be coming up. Some of you could get like a phone call and it just disturbs your peace in some way. And, you know, but yeah, this is to do with like the family. Scorpio, this is your 3rd house. So this is a house for you Scorpios that, you know, some of you may speak out of turn. Some of you may be coming across as quite blunt, coming across as quite cold, because you want stuff done, but things may be taking a little bit too slow. I feel a lot of you are really determined during this time to really get what you need to get done in terms of like writing, communication. If you're looking to like move neighborhoods, you're going to be very on it as well. But there could be some clashes with neighbors. There could also be clashes with, you know, your siblings. This could have been bubbling as well for a very long time, and it just explodes. But once it does, things will be clear. And last but not least, you have Sagittarius. This is in your 2nd house. So your drive and energy is to earn money, 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 self-worth. This is to do with what you're eating as well. So some of you may be going back to eating things that have benefited you in some way. You know, it could be from when you were younger. Also, I feel some of you Sagittarians during this time are going to be very focused on money, saving money as well. If you were one of those Sagittarians that were quite really good at saving, you're going to be, I feel some of you are going to really go back to that and not spending too much, maybe because the money may not be there as well. But yeah, your focus is definitely on the money, savings, creativity as well. Some of you going back to, like, a lot of like, you have that eureka moment, drive energy, bing, I'm going to be doing this because this could actually bring me in some more money. Okay, that's just like a little overview for all the signs. That was very quick, actually, the quickest I've ever been. But yeah, so that's the energies of Capricorn. And the card that we actually have for this, it is the 3 of Pentacles, because this is a Mars in Capricorn. And it is about, the 3 of Pentacles is about craftsmanship. And it's about, you know, developing a skill, like it could be like a profession or a trade with people. It's also about marketing, okay? And also how marketable you are as well. So, and it's also, you know, how hard you work, you're going to get results, okay? So during Mars in Capricorn, anything that even, and also another thing, guys, look where Capricorn is in your house chart, because this will play a big part in where things could be going as well. So, you know, the cards, you know, the card, the Three of Pentacles, is it just showing us about, you know, what we plan, not just for now, but what we plan for our future. It's going to be, you know, obviously amazing, but it's about really thinking about what we want for our future. And this is not just for, like, you know, work. It's about what we want for ourselves, and also what we want in our relationships, business or personal. Okay, because, you know, some of us are going to be having to make a huge effort. You know, Mars in Capricorn doesn't like, it doesn't benefit everyone, but some people, it finds it just a little bit too slow. But what this Three of Pentacles is saying, and Mars in Capricorn is saying, that, you know, sometimes we just have to take our time in order to get tangible results. We just have to take our time and listen. Sometimes we just have to stop. And we also have to try and empathize in a way of what is going on around us. We is also asking us to be quite, you know, extremely, trying to be more extremely grounded, because there's going to be a lot of crazy energies around us, and it could actually distract us. This is actually really great to be doing. This is actually a really great time as well to be writing down your goals, ticking them off, working intelligently, working slowly, but also working at the pace. Because some of you are, especially with Saturn, which is ruled by Capricorn and traditionally ruled by Aquarius, it is hitting certain houses, for especially the water signs. It's hitting your water houses. And not everyone is going to be as ambitious as everyone else. You know, the earth signs will be very, definitely, it'll benefit everyone in a different way. But because this energy is so hardworking, I'll say work with your energy. You're not in competition with anyone but yourself. And, you know, as long as you're working towards your own goal, you'll be fine. You know, if you feel very energized today, by all means do it. If you don't tomorrow and you feel you can do a little bit, do that as well. You know, Capricorn is also about, Mars in Capricorn is about climbing that hill very slowly, but it doesn't veer off. It just keeps climbing, and it climbs and when it does climb, yes, rain may pour, snow may come. Sometimes you're climbing and things get a little bit slippery, but are you still, you know, do you still see that shining light on the mountain? If the shining light is not there, then it may be time to change course. Because during this time, a lot of us may decide to change course. We may decide, because Capricorn rules timing and rules the past. Some of us may decide that we're going to go back to what job we used to go back to, a skill. Yes, it could also be like an old relationship. You know, these things can happen, but as long as we're staying true to ourselves, okay? And I've spoken about the shadow side of this as well, which can happen. That is mostly to do with insecurity. That is mostly to do with when you're shutting down, you're being cold, you're being selfish, materialistic, ruthless. That is because that's the only way you think that you can survive. But remember, Saturn is also about karma. Okay, so all these things are going to be tied as well. We can also we're going to start hearing a lot more stuff happening in terms of, you know, people in positions of power and everything. We're going to be hearing that. Pluto's in Capricorn, you know. Also during this time, listen out for what's happening at your work, your bosses. Listen out for happening, what goes on around you, because there's going to be a huge rise in new things happening, and a huge fall in things happening as well. Lots of rises and fallings, I'm feeling that's going to be happening. And, you know, even with this card as well, it is about earnings, it is about prestige as well. So, you know, as long as the main goal is not about that, you know, because it can be hard during this time to find the love in what you do, because the goal is about material, but you have to also love what you do. Because if you know that, I'm going to put up, you know, I've got the card up, but the Three of Pentacles, it is three people working together. They look like they're discussing, or they could be, you know, it looks like they're discussing, they could be analyzing a building, they could be thinking what's going to be next, but there's love there. And if there's not love there, but we get material, how does that make us happy? You know, it's a little bit like Scrooge. You know, think of Scrooge, guys. Anyone who's ever watched that movie, think of that. You know, you want love around you, you know. And another good thing about Mars being in Capricorn is loyalty as well. Loyalty to a job, loyalty to a relationship, loyalty to, you know, your profession, loyalty to a cause, but also loyalty to something you love. Okay. And there's gonna be lots of there's gonna be a time in like February or March where Capricorn Mars is gonna be, you know, having tight conversations with Pluto and Venus. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, passions and intensity that's going to be coming out too. And that's going to be one big story. You know, can you imagine that whole story that's going to be coming out when those three planets actually come together? You know, there's going to be, I can actually feel lots of, you know, love coming out, you know, proclaims of love and deep intensity obsessions, and also, you know, power plays. There can be some manipulation going on. There could be a lot of drive for, you know, this is the person that I want to be with, I'm going to get them. There could be a lot of drive, I want to climb that mountain, I want to be the boss. And how we, but also how we go about these things, it can be very detrimental. So we just have to really think about how we go about things, especially when these two planets come together. Some of them, it may be great or it may not be, who knows. But as long as we stay on that grounded path, everything should be fine. So guys, that was the the Mars in Capricorn message for you guys. Thank you very much for listening. Feel free to let me know how this transit has gone for you, and also feel free to, feel free to let me know how the transit's gone for you. And, you know, if you would like any more information, hit the description below, and feel free to follow me on Instagram as well, and yeah, on my Twitter page. So thanks very much for listening, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.